សមាជិកគណៈបកសង្គ្រោះជាតិប្រាជ្ញាប្រធានសាមគ្គីក្រុមនានាសង្គ្រោះបម្រើការពារកម្ពុជាខ្មែរព្រមគ្រប់គ្នាទាមទារសិទ្ធិសេរីឯករាជ្យបូរណភាពអធិបតេយ្យខ្មែរបស្រីបដូរផ្ដាច់ថែរក្សាមិនឲ្យបរទេសឈ្លានពានមកត្រួតត្រាសម្បត្តិដូនតាធនធានជាតិខ្មែរ
and welcome to Khmer Youth Voices for Justice. This is part of the CNRP America. Good evening to you and welcome to our show. My name is Linda. Again, this is Khmer Youth Voices for Justice. We have a great topic today. Our topic is Cambodia International Reputations. And thank you for joining us. At the same time, I would like to say thank you for supporting our petitions, ending impunity for justice in Cambodia. So far, we have collected over 108,000 signatures. So please continue to support our petitions at change.org. Again, our petition is at change.org, ending impunity for justice in Cambodia. Together, we fight to end impunity. Justice for victims of state-backed killing in Cambodia. Please, if you already signed the petition, please help to share with friends and family. And again, I'm here every week asking and requesting and hoping that you share that petitions. We are looking for at least 500,000 signatures. Like I said earlier, so far we have over 108,000 signatures. The signature Cambodian communities inside and outside of the country can sign the petitions, and not just Cambodian. Doesn't matter which nationality you are, you can help to support our petitions. Again, it is at change.org, ending impunity for justice in Cambodia. I have a short video clip by Her Excellency Musakur. Please watch the video and also help to share the video, and also don't forget to motivate friends and family to support our petitions. Again, ending impunity for justice in Cambodia at change.org.
តើយុត្តិធម៌ឬនីតិរដ្ឋភាព
Between 1975 and 1979, the green rice fields of Cambodia became the killing fields of Cambodia. Over 2 million lives were lost, including the lives of my own parents and many of my relatives. The Khmer Rouge wanted a society that is equal according to them. We still live and we are haunted with the legacy of the Khmer Rouge, which is the culture of impunity that continues to exist in Cambodia today. It is for this reason that we have started a campaign, worldwide campaign, a campaign to end impunity in Cambodia by seeking justice for cases, for the executions, for the killings that are organized, that are backed by the state. Among those cases of state-backed killings are the killings of Chivichir, the very famous trade union leader, Bisep Pilaka, a ballet dancer, of Kemley, an independent analyst, of Chutvuti, a well-known environmentalist, of Venerable Sun Bunthun, who was advocating for the monks to have the right to vote, including workers who demanded fair wages. The campaign will also advocate for governments that are members of the United Nations to put pressure on the government of Cambodia to conduct independent investigations by using universal tools such as the UN Protocol for Independent Investigation. The campaign will also advocate for governments that believe and want to protect universal human rights to impose sanctions on the leaders of the government of Cambodia who are implicated in these state-backed extrajudicial killings. We ask you to be with us, to support us, to be part of a campaign to end the culture of impunity in Cambodia and to find justice for those who have been waiting for justice for their loved ones killed by the state. There cannot be real peace unless there is justice. There cannot be justice unless there is independent investigation. And then to take those cases to an independent justice system. Join us by signing on this petition. Thank you.
យើងរួមគ្នាបញ្ចប់នីតិរដ្ឋភាពដើម្បីយុត្តិធម៌នៅកម្ពុជា
Hello and good evening. Welcome back. Thank you for joining our show. Again, this is Khmer Voices, Khmer Youth Voices for Justice. This is part of the CNRP America live Facebook. My name is Linda. I am broadcasting live from Los Angeles, California. Thank you for joining our show. Again, you just watched a video by Her Excellency Mosakur regarding ending impunity for justice in Cambodia. Together, we fight to end impunity. We want justice for victims of state-backed killing in Cambodia. Please help to support our petitions. It is at change.org. Thank you. Thank you so much for joining our show. I have two wonderful guests with me today. They've been here before. Let me brought them out. Kathy, she is one of my guests. She is from Calgary, Canada. Let me welcome her. Jimhip Sur, Kathy.
Jimhip Sur.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you tonight?
I'm good, thank you. You were last here last month. So how you been since we last seen you?
I've been pretty good. Been pretty busy at the clinic and at the pharmacy. So my life's going skyrocket right now.
Again, thank you for joining us. We all know we are busy, but we need to do our part. And thank you for always being here. And thank you for sacrificing your time to be on our show.
Oh, it's always my pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Let me bring my other guest. Her name is Somaly Nou. She actually in California. She in Fresno, California. So I want to talk about COVID. So I'm going to bring both of you guys out here so that way you can tell me a little bit about your town. So let me bring my second guest, Somaly. Jimhip Sur, how are you?
Jimhip Sur, Linda, I'm fine, thank you.
The other guest is Kathy. This is your first time that both of you being on as my guest at the same time.
Yes.
Somaly, are you there?
I'm here.
How you been?
I'm great, thank you very much. Sorry for the pause.
No problem. How Fresno, California?
It's pretty sunny right now. We're experiencing 74 degrees Fahrenheit. Hey,
that's fall.
Nice and sunny. I think it's good in a way.
Did you bring out your sweater yet?
You're kidding me, right? Ready for that yet?
It's actually sweater season already.
No sweater in my house because I turn on the AC, but no.
No. Well, thank you, Somaly, for being here. I know both of you and Kathy and Somaly, they are somehow close to medical field. I mean, related to the medical field. Kathy, since you last here, how's COVID-19 in Calgary, Canada?
Um, it's something. I'll tell you that our cases has been rising up again. A lot of anti-vaxxers. I've seen a lot come and go. Right now, last week we just implemented a new law to show that you are vaccinated. So we do have to show our card that we have our both shots. Just like by entering a restaurant for you to go eat, you do have to show your vaccination card. But other than that, with the COVID, our healthcare is not great at the moment. A lot of protesters are happening outside the hospitals and everything. So COVID right now, it's not great.
Thank you. How about you, Somaly? How's Fresno, California?
When it comes to terms COVID, again, working in the healthcare industry in the back end, of course, I'm not in the front end, but in the back end, we do seen a lot of cases coming up. Cases in Fresno County is total cases now it's at 126, 299 total. There is 1,927 deaths at the age of 59 plus. Currently hospitalized at 384 on the age category of 18 plus. The county risk level positive test percentage is at 5 to 8%. So more than 8% are widespread in Fresno County.
That's almost sound like LA already. I think LA is much more than that. But we have vaccine. It's just like Kathy said, it's anti-vax that's get infected, and at the same time, I'm here every week promoted. Please go get vaccinated.
Yeah, so that's just in terms a little bit about the result in our Fresno, but just a little bit of information in my industry as far as working wise, we are taking more precaution here at the hospital. They're encouraging wearing masks constantly, covering and social distance constantly, more aggressive now. If you don't have your 2 immunization shots, employment over at community hospital is pretty much a no deal thing now too as well. So if you don't have shots, you're out of there. So things are taking way more aggressive now, taking more cautious now, and believe it or not, this is not something that we want to see that's worldwide spread. And so anything that we can do to help protect it, then we should follow.
Thank you, Somaly. How about you, Kathy? How's Canada? Does it require you to get vaccinated, or does it require people that go to at work to get vaccinated, or just freedom of choice?
Oh, there's no freedom of choice. There is a deadline to get your both vaccines by October 25th, I believe, and everybody's still encouraging everybody to wear masks and all that. Yeah, that's basically about it.
Is it last week or maybe beginning of this week that the third shot, what's called booster shot, is now is announced. CDC announced that anyone 65 or older or have weak immune system can get the third shot. Since you both I know you in the back end of the medical field, are you required to get the third shot, Somaly?
So right now in Fresno County, in where I reside, and as far as working in the hospital, the third shot for the booster is not required as of this moment. So that's just not required, not yet anyway.
Thank you, and thank you for sharing, because the reason I brought it up, because I believe there's a lot of population in Cambodia that's got that third shot already, and at the same time, I'm not sure you realize it is almost Phnom Penh now. Before Phnom Penh is Cam Bun, and all the temple are closed, and you're not allowed to go to the temple. I know the precautions. At the same time, everybody got that third shot. Most people in Cambodia are required to get that third shot. and at the same time the temple is closed, preventing, trying to help people social distance. So that's kind of unfortunate during the temple season right now. Again, thank you, Somaly, and thank you, Kathy, for being here today and sharing your opinion. Before we get to our main topic, which is stand for Cambodia International Reputations, I would like to share a current event. I read it this morning, but last week I was talking about this as well. I was talking about the minimum wage of factory worker, garment worker that actually making product that ships overseas, meaning shipping to European and shipping to America, making like clothing, shoes. The minimum wage currently is at $192. Let me show some picture. This morning they voted. I'm not sure you can see there's only 6 votes for the minimum wage to go up at 204, and a majority voted for staying at 192. That is the current minimum wage. So they are negotiating, bargaining for the wage of 2022. This is the poster. The worker won $214 per month. Let me put into perspective. I did some math before the show, so I want to share my perspective on math. So minimum wage right now. So they don't work, I'm not sure you're aware, Kathy and Somaly, that they work 6 days per week, which equals to 48 hours per week, and that's 4 weeks per month, equal 192. Hey, perfect number. So 192 hours per month equal $192 per month. That's equal making $1 per hour. Does it make sense? Does my math make sense?
Oh, yes.
Okay, put it up again. $1 an hour. Well, Kathy and Somaly, you both work. I do work I've been working longer than you both. I'm a little bit older than you guys. Somaly, how do you feel? $1 an hour.
I'm sorry, $1 an hour is just not it. I don't think anybody can survive at $1 an hour and working 6 days a week. And yeah, no, I'm shocking actually.
Kathy, how do you feel working for $1 an hour?
It's not worth it, to be honest, because basically it's like not working at all, in my opinion, because you're working so much just to get such a little paycheck every month. Compared to like the rest of the world, we have like pretty good minimum wage, but like compared to Cambodia right now, it's just, I just don't know what to say. It's just shocked that, like, we work so hard for just to get $1 an hour and $192 per month.
Yeah. So I just kind of want to throw this out too. It's like, how do they cope with inflation, the loans, the cost of rents, the utilities, such and such with $1 an hour? I just don't understand. It doesn't balance.
Yes. So put into perspective, let me ask you to share when you're talking about inflations. I'm assuming Kathy and Somaly, you go grocery shopping, right?
Oh yeah.
How's expensive product at just talking about supermarket, not talking about clothing, not talking about luxury item or product that you talking about necessary meat and vegetable that you need to eat every day. So how expensive? How is it more expensive than before COVID, or is it less expensive right now in America? Anyone?
Well, I guess I'll take it. No, I've noticed that everything has inflation. Everything has gone up tremendously. Gas is hitting me pretty much. One of the things that I'm crying every day right now. Basic necessity as far as buying food. I am a steak eater, so when you go and you buy steak and they're up in like, a couple pounds, like $2 on top of what you used to buy, like your rib eyes now is like what, $12, $13 a pound. It's like, no, everything's went up. Well, this is crazy. crazy.
And let me add as well. So they voted to stay at $192, but the generous city of Hun Sen, he added $2. So starting in January 2022, instead of making $192, the worker will be making $194. So very generous of him to help out the factory worker for $194. I read many article. It's not the $2 increase. Does not compensate for the inflations. Does not compensate for the cost of rent that keep going up. Does not compensate for the food. I mean, inflation. In talking about everything. Is it how nice of him? $2 when they asking here last week. This is what they've been asking. $2.14.
My goodness, even 214, I still think that's still little. I mean,
For a month worth of working.
still little. I mean, the government responds with a fair wages, but I just wish that they can provide some sort of backup on how they come up with their fair wages when, you know, our people are facing COVID, 19 pandemic issue. You know, inflation issue. How do they come up with this fair wages? I just don't. I'm just not seeing a balance. Sorry.
Talking about fair wages. In America and in Canada, I know, Kathy, the government set the minimum wage. You know that, right? You guys know that the government said this is how much everyone deserves to get paid by minimum wage. Doing this negotiation is not by the government, it's negotiation by private sector. So you know who the interest is when it's negotiated by the private sector. And Hun Sen came in and very generous at $2, increased $2 for the workers. So January 1st, 2022, $194. It's like a 1%, a little bit over 1% increase.
Wow. I guess the positive thing is something better than nothing, I guess, huh?
That's how
what
people
I was
take
just
it.
gonna say. Yeah.
Something better than nothing. Let's get on to our topic. Our topic is Cambodia international reputations. Since we're talking about penny pinching, $2. I want to share that on September 15, according to Radio Free Asia, lobbying company the regime has signed with a lobby company that costs almost $70,000. I'm believing to sign with a communication company to improve the reputations, improve the Cambodia image to the world. Somaly, how is Cambodia image currently? How do you feel? Are they spotless?
To me, as a Cambodian American, Cambodia of my own country images, it's beautiful. But when it comes to the ruling government, it is not beautiful. It's ugly. It is very ugly. And an ugly term is not just, it's not just the facial. I'm talking about the face, the heart itself is ugly. I just wish that our government could, utilize what we have given, with the rest and compare ourselves with the rest of the world and just bring our people, back up to standard a little bit.
Kathy, how's the image to the world? How the international look at Cambodia?
Well, with the international, they see it as like a very beautiful tourist spot, with like the beautiful Angkor Wat, the scenery, the humidity. Yeah, the humidity. Sorry, it's beautiful, but like it was said earlier, the inside is corrupt. Like the outside, the image is beautiful, but once you go in deeper, right into the center, it's just corrupt, like deforestation. Right there, our beautiful trees are gone just by cutting up, and we have our most beautiful trees are just gone, developed, sent to somewhere else without like our permission or anything.
And if I may add a little bit on top of that.
Yes, please.
So a little things just to kind of throw it out there too is that looking at the World Bank's report, they have give our country a poor level poverty percentage. And at the same time, we're looking at all this funding that we have been given through, whether through World Bank's report or through any other agency. There's money that we're being given to help with whatever that, that aspect of that. Now, in terms of looking at what we look at as a poor property level, how does our government utilize or manage to get this money and funding on something that should have not been funded? Money that should have been invested or given towards something else that are a necessity. That's just another thing too. So if we are so poor, if our country is so poor, why is our government have that money to lobbying to utilize something like this and showing it publicly like that? I mean, what is that telling you? It's just, it doesn't add up. It's not balancing. Everything just a mess. It's a mess. It's all over the place.
I couldn't even pronounce this company. It's Quovis Communications. They've been in business for been in business for 20 years, and they're specialized in communications. They are based in Washington, D.C. I know Kathy is in Canada now. Somaly, how do you feel about this company that representing the regime, that they are based in America, enjoying the democracy of America, and at the same time representing a regime that repeatedly undermine democracy and human rights in Cambodia?
All I can tell you, Melinda, is that Quoris reside out in Washington, D.C. And the importance of that is that even though they're reside in Washington, D.C., and just to know that they're signing the contract to bring up, I don't know, I don't think it's a dialogue thing. It's not even a dialogue. It's just the beauty of bringing the image back up, which, they have been doing that way back since 2019, wasting so much, $1.2 million. I don't think that has been, for me, I don't think that has been, that money that they were spending has any advantage of that. Because solely because, just me out here in Fresno, Central Fresno, California, already learned what our country is about. There's some good things about it, but the whole thing is that we are now reside in 2021. We want to see things better. There's so much improvement that needs to be done where that money needs to be invested in. And I don't think that this is, something that they should agree on as far as, whoever's give that, I don't know, maybe they're elites, that are trying to gain this lobbying just because they wanted to be selfish, But in terms here, in reality here, we're in America. I don't think it's right for them to invest that money in something like that.
Yes, and at the same time, this company shouldn't be taking on that. This company should have investigate. I mean, I guess at the end of the day, the balance sheet at the end of the day, it's important. At the same time, they are based in Washington, D.C. They should be representing democracy, the democracy that they enjoy in America. It shouldn't be representing the regime. And at the end of the day, to them, it's just a balance sheet. At the end of the day, they are making $70,000 per month. To be exact, I'm sorry, almost $70,000 per month. Kathy, you in Canada, how do you feel about this?
Not good, because he can spend that money towards the people, helping, especially during this COVID-19 pandemic. He could have done so much without funding with all this, reputation. He only cares about his reputation. He doesn't care about his people inside. All he just wants is money. That's what all he wants is power. And with power, there's really no respect for the people of Cambodia. And a lot of our people are suffering right now. Inflammation's going up. A lot of foods, just like we discussed earlier before the show. Just a pound of chicken. A chicken is already $16, and I'm just like flabbergasted because Cambodia is not doing great right now, and that money could have been so much and a good way of support for the people.
Just a little bit to add on that too. Washington can claim to take stand on that principle, just to look at a good image. But my personal opinion, as again Cambodian American, when we see all this, when we see our own country is leaning towards authoritarian, and it's only in a one position of the ruling party, when only one party in my country, Washington, if you see this, you can stand on taking that stand on the principle, but what is our moral principle is all about? Our moral principle, Washington, D.C., if we see that you term those contracts, it gives more leverage to our people and hopes to our country. And I would like to end that right there.
Yeah, on their website, they have crisis and issue management. And it's like our seasoned executive have both corporate and political experience, offering our client a diverse skill set for their reputation management needs in the public and private sector. Why does Cambodia need to control their public image? Why is that? It's pretty spotless, right? It's pretty spotlight, or is it what's going on lately that it need to have somebody representing them?
If they can just agree on what EU standard is, agree to them, their terms, simple fix, but because they're not willing to, that's a simple fix. We don't even have to go to that dramatic, a longer problems. I'm not there in my country, so I don't know like the whole realm of what's going on, but what I do see is innocence. People are dying, people are starving constantly. People can't say things that they want to say. Their freedoms are being privileged or taken away. Things that they want to say, they can't say. I mean, all this stuff that we're seeing in my country right now, it's not good. It's not good. So by them hiring somebody here in America to stand for good images, it's a no-no. It's a no-no. That money can be invested in somewhere else. It can be invested in the sanitation that we're having problem right now. It's just so many things. Water issue that we have in our country. So many things that they can invest it on. That money just needs to be put where it needs to be put. It's a waste of money.
Thank you, Somaly. We do agree it's a waste of money, and we do agree the reason why they lobbying so hard, because the image is it's not good, and the reason it's not good because they are violating human rights, and they are walking on democracy. And when we're talking about that, we're talking about the dissolve of the CNRP, the main opposition in Cambodia, and not all three of us, not just come here and saying it, all three of us agree that they violate human rights, and especially lately on freedom of expression. When I put this picture up, this is the youth of Mother Nature, and we've been talking every single week how they encourage people to save the environment. They encourage everyone to save the forest, to save the lake, to save the environment, and as a result, this is what happened.
Yeah.
And And that's the reason why the EU looking into Cambodia and withdraw to 20% EBA. It's not just Kathy, Somali, and Linda saying like, oh, Cambodia is walking backward. Cambodia have a bad reputation. No, the EU agreed that they have that Cambodia is walking backward.
Yeah, it's not just our country.
May I add something towards that too?
Yeah,
I think that the regime feels threatened and scared because of what the CNRP can do and what advantages they have. Same with the activists. Oh my gosh, same with the activists, because they're exposing so much and like helping so much of what we can do to save Cambodia. But I just feel like he just feels too threatened and scared that everybody's going to expose what Cambodia truly is and how slowly it's going under if he doesn't, or the government doesn't fix this up.
Thank you, Kathy. I'm sure in Canada, the representative that in the office, the the senator and the representative, the Senate, they work for us because we vote for them.
Exactly. Yes.
It's the same thing in Canada, correct?
Same thing. Yeah.
So we have a voice. We have a voice in telling our representative that this is what concerns us. This is what we worry about, and they listen to us. Since we're talking about lobbying, let's talk about HR 4686. I don't see anybody spending money to lobby that. Somali, do you hear any news on lobbying this HR 4686? Do we spend a lot amount of money?
No, not at all. People like us that wants to make changes are actually doing our own individual lobbying. We doing our own talking. We are doing our own movement. We're doing our own activity. Yes, we've seen, a lot of movements and stuff like that. But yeah, as far as this bill, it's just gonna go. It's gonna go straight. It's gonna go. It's never gonna end. It's gonna go.
Yes, and how are we doing that? How are you and I doing that? Somali, can you share? How are you gonna make this bill pass, and how are you gonna make pass the House, and how are you gonna make pass the Senate?
Me and my sister have been doing a lot of phone calling, a lot of gathering people voices, getting signatures, establishing a relationship with people that wants to make the changes in America. And then we make that phone call. We find out, where's that bill is at. If that bill is in the House, we call the House of Representatives. We get the name. We call them. We talk to them. We write them. We email them. We do whatever we needs to be of doing out of our own gesture, out of our own time, out of our own money to do that. Because we want, in order for you to understand what the bill is all about and who is being impacted in that bills. And that's how you know that that's what you want to do, because that's your concern. It's everybody's concern. It's not just me. It's not just Kathy. It's not just Belinda. It's everybody, whoever that wants to make the changes in our country and concerning about that bill, to just go ahead and just do that. Lobbying if you need to. Make that call, make that appointment, set it up. It doesn't have to be Sir Sam Ramsey. It doesn't have to be Ong Rip T. It doesn't have to be any of those leaders. Regular people like us, we have the voice. We have the benefit of voting. We can make it different. We all can make it different.
Thank you, Somali. Let me remind our audience, HR 4686 is in the House. It's to promote free and fair elections, political freedoms, and human rights in Cambodia and for other purposes. It's also known as the Cambodia Democracy Act of 2021. Once this bill passed, then we move on to the Senate, and that's how we work. That's how we lobby. And do you think it's coincidence that this legislator come out July 26 of 2021, and on September 15, the regime signed on a lobby company Is that a coincidence, or is that something that they want to stop this bill? They want to stop this Cambodia Democracy Act of 2021. Somali, you have any input on that?
You know, it's not a coincidence. They see the movement. They've seen that how people are opening opinion. They've seen how that bill started in July. Now it's moving quite fast enough in September to be in the House. Usually the Cambodian Bill Acts or any bills, it doesn't move that fast because of the fact that we are lobbying, we are calling, we are making this phone call, we're getting people to know, we're getting our representative to know, we're getting our congressman to know that we are concerning about this bill. We want it passed because of that activity. It's not just us, it's not just a group of us, it's everybody. That's why it's moving. So yeah, it's very important that everybody should just do that. It doesn't have to be the ban of, political opposition parties that's here reside in America. I just wanted to let everybody know and throw it out there that it does not have to be them. It can be us as an individual if we have the heart and the concern enough for our own country to make the changes happen.
Thank you, Somali. I know, Kathy, you in Canada, you are not lobbying, but do you know? Have you heard about this bill that we are working on in America? It's called Cambodia Democracy Act of 2021. Basically, like I read already, to promote free and fair elections. And have you heard about that? We are working on this. And when you heard about the lobbying, the $70,000 per month, it must have ring in your head. It's like, what's going on? Is it coincidence?
With the bill, I just find it really surprising that we did this. Like we made this happen. Not some famous people, not some random people. It's about the community and about the community that actually made this bill go into the House. And with that, it's just surprising because we've worked so hard to get something like this, And like I haven't really heard about the bill. So like today's like actually my first time like talking about it and everything. But I really do hope it passes though, because I think that we definitely
It will.
Fingers crossed, and I know it will. I have hope in us. I have hope. But yeah, with the $70,000 that he's been putting down, close to $70,000, it's just flabbergasted. Honestly, he and the regime can do so much better. So much better in saving the country and saving the people rather than just saving its own reputation. I believe that people should come first before the reputation.
Actually, it's involved the reputations. The Cambodian regime. The regime trying to make themselves look good to the House representative, make themselves look good to the Senate. So that way, when they see this bill later on that going to be passing through the House, going through the Senate, and there's people going to be, I'm for sure this is not the end of the $70,000. I'm for sure there's more money going to be flying through some more to influence Washington, D.C. And I truly believe that if everyone in America, if everyone, like Somali said, truly can pick up the phone, spend like 5 minutes emailing our representative, emailing our senator, what is our concern, or calling. When you call, you just tell them your name, where you live, and what do you want, what message do you want to tell your representative, what message you want to call your Congress, and that's it. And when it's go to the Senate, each state have 2 senators. How hard is that to dial 2 phone number? It's not hard at all. And that's what Somali and I encourage everyone to contact their House representative, contact their senators.
So just a little bit of add-on in that, if I can.
Yeah.
So to understand the bill on HR 4686, right? Just a little brief. In that bill, there is a finding from our Congress that's indicating, about our Prime Minister Hun Sen that's been empowered in Cambodia, how they undermine our Cambodian democracy's, issue. The government has they also document about Kamsaka issue, the president and Sir Sam Rainsy, and the issue with the political activities and stuff like that they're innocently being dissolved, wrongfully. United States have been, backing this act for a very long time. That in fact, EU and United States did a lot of sanctions to those people or to the country and people that affecting that related to that, undermine that democracy in Cambodia, the acts that are impacting in that way. So we're talking about asset blocking, right? Asset blocking, and we're talking about visa banning, the admissions and stuff like that. So there's just so many stuff that are in that bill that are indirect to the elites or to the Hun Sen's cronies, that they're illegally or in the free realm of acting whatever they want to act. That's causing this, the whole issue. So if this bill is going to pass, I'm sure it impacting his cronies and his families and his families of families, whatever that he's, create in the past 30 something plus years. So as you may see, why it is important for them to lobby us here to make sure that this act is not being passed, because it's impacting all that part of it. But in my perspective as an Khmer American or Cambodian American, we see this bill is indirectly impacting that part of it. It's not impacting our own people, because our own people is already at the bottom. They're already facing the worst that they're facing, right? But we're talking about big money, big money that are being revoked. Once this bill passes into a law, there's so many things that our government can intervene to make this worse for them anyway. And maybe, just maybe, give us enough time, time to change something, to make something changes, to make something happen. Who knows? But what I do know is I want this bill passed.
Let me summarize what Somaly said. So basically, this bill is sanctioned, asset blocking, and inadmissible for visa, admissions, or parole. What it's saying is, if they own a property in America, that's asset blocking. And if you are deemed to be violating on human right, and you are that we found that you are violating human right, then you are not allowed to be in America. Basically, a foreign person designated under this section, inadmissible to the United States, ineligible to receive a visa or other document to enter the United States. So it's not affecting, let me just say it again, it's not affecting ordinary Cambodian that live in Cambodia. This is affecting these people that have money, basically black money, dirty money, what we call dirty money in America, and that's what is impacted. Since we're talking about this bill, Kathy, you are in Canada. Do you have any input, or what do you want to motivate American people to do? It doesn't have to be Cambodian, by the way. You does not have to be Cambodian to call your senator, to call your House representative. You can be any national, as long as you're U.S. citizen, and you call those people that you voted for, that you put it in on the seat to representing you. So it does not have to be Cambodian American.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like anyone can support this. It doesn't matter if you're Caucasian or you're African American or anything. Anyone who supports this can definitely thrive to make this go faster, you know? And like once it goes faster, I feel like it'll be a little bit more easier in a way, if you know what I mean. Yeah. Sorry, I'm just like a little like flabbergasted right now and all that. But yeah, I really do. I want to. I don't want to just encourage Americans. I do want to try to encourage Canadians as well to like help support this bill pass through the Senate and the part. Sorry, the House
Call
of.
your family in America and have
Yeah,
them call our House representative and senator. So if you're
yeah,
Canadian, like Kathy, please contact your American friend, American family that is U.S.
yeah.
citizen, and have them that they voted, and have them contact the senator. And it's really important that,
Mm-hmm.
and Somali and I know it will pass. We're gonna work on that.
We will. We sure will, sis.
Yes.
I just want to like encourage everyone in America just to like support this bill. You know, it's such a good cause because right now we're not doing so good. So once this bill passes, I think feel like it would just liften up our spirits a little. So we won't be like huddled in just one cramped space. We can just be open and free and allow our chest to breathe a little bit.
Yes, and we know the like Bong Sita said, the corrupted official have a lot of dirty money in America, and even though they said, you know, it's beautiful Cambodia, but they take vacation in America, they own property in America, and they have kids studying in America, so it's going to affect them, and that's why they are willing to spend almost $70,000 per month to lobby, and that's just for a company to lobby. When it's going to keep going, there's going to be more money spending, and this is not coincident, or this is not accident. This is it's not coincident at all that, you know, we working on HR 4686 and they are spending money to lobby this.
They just don't want this to happen.
Well, it's affect their pocket. It's affect their ability to travel in America, and it's like I said, the most important is affecting their pocketbook. When anyone affect their pocketbook, and that's what they worry about. We are. I just want to remind our audience, we started out with our current event. We talking about minimum wage, where the regime is penny pinching from $192 a month to $194 a month. And we all said it, inflations and also due to COVID, everything is expensive. So that's not fair, and it's not justice. Let me show a poster where the worker is asking for $2.14, even though it's at $2.14 to us living in America, where the annual percentage that we get paid is a lot more than people in Cambodia, but asking for $2.14 and still getting $1.92, and due to generosity of the regime, they added $2 to $2.94. And every time I'm talking about minimum wage, I always rattle through the numbers. So I actually did a poster, so that way you, our audience and our guests, can get a grip on how the situation in Cambodia. 192 is equal 192 hours per month that the worker work. They don't work 5 days a week, they work 6 days a week, and that is 48 hours per week, equal to $1 an hour. We move on from penny pinching to extravaganza. I guess that's what we call it. Extravaganza spending that I want to share. The company that representing the regime, trying to share their good image, and that is the company they based on Washington DC, and unfortunately it's American companies. Unfortunately, the regime signed contract with them on September 15 to represent the regime, to help clear that, to help sprout up the image. And we all said that we agree with them that their image is not good image at all, and not just us three saying it. The EU been saying it for so many years already. They also cut the EBA by 20%. So the image is not there. Again, this company is in Washington DC, the regime signed the contract with them to representing them, to clear the image, to uplifting their image of Cambodia. Exact amount is $69,300, so a shy of $70,000 per month. Before we end, we kind of like said, oh, we can. Somaly and I we're going to work very hard to make sure the new bill pass, and we all agree that it's not coincident that that they hiring a firm where we are working to pass the legislature in the House, and also we'll move on to the Senate when it passed. Somaly, thank you for being here. Before we end, I want you to say something to our audience and say something about today's topic and also today current event.
I wanted to say thank you very much. I'm very pleased, and it's a pleasure of mine to attend this live streaming show. I just wanted to tell everybody, since we're speaking in English via Khmer here, as a Cambodian American, I only wish the best for my country. In terms of what we want, it isn't too hard to it isn't too hard to ask. If we can just make that changes happen just a little bit, give us a little bit of dialogue, show us something. And everybody here that are here in the United States of America, we all enjoying our freedom here, our freedom of speech, freedom of press, freedom of media. We're advertising ourselves here in the social media, in Facebook. We have that privilege to manage to still have that. But if you look at our country, they don't have any of that. They have no saying, they have nothing. So at the end of the day, I am so thankful, and thank you so much to everybody and all of the leaders that have the funding and the good thought of having this live streaming show to educate people out there in the real world, to take notice how hard it is and how easy it is to be selfishness. But we are out here in this media advertising ourselves, saying we want something to happen. Not just the older generation that are going through this setback. We also introducing a newer generation that comes in. Look at Kathy. She's 19 years old. She's from Canada. We need more people to take part in this. We're in the United States. We already have the ability. We have, even if you reside on government assistance, at least even that part of it is even better than our people back in our country, So again, I just want to say thank you so much for having us in this live streaming show, and hopefully we can accomplish by educate more people out there and to take part for the good cause for our own.
Thank you, Somaly. I couldn't have said it better. That's the reason why we have the show in English. We want to bring news and current event, basically bringing what's going on in Cambodia, in a country where freedom of expression is not there and democracy is not there. And so we want to bring the world the awareness of what's going on in Cambodia. And I always appreciate that you always set aside of your time to being here. This is your second time. I really appreciate that. And Kathy, before we end, would you like to say something before we end?
Yeah, I just want to try to encourage all Americans to support this bill, even my fellow Canadians, to contact someone that in America to support this bill, because it is such a good cause for our people. It's just really hopeful that you guys did this. You guys actually made this bill go into the House and into the Senate. So hopefully, fingers crossed, that we will have enough signatures and everything to make this bill go through, because honestly, our people deserve it right now. We've worked so hard. And I just want to say thank you for everyone who has been supporting us and all from like this journey from the beginning until now, until the future. So it's really exciting to see how far we've grown. And just thank you for everyone who's been supporting the CNRP and CNRPA as well.
Thank you, Kathy, and thank you. You are only 19 and you're here. Thank you so much for being here. Somaly and I'm a little bit older than you guys, but I'm so glad that both of you are here and so young to give your opinion, also to care so much about Cambodia. I'm assuming, Kathy, you wasn't born there, so to be caring so much for a country that you wasn't born there, but you have the blood over there. So I appreciate and thank you for your time, Kathy, and also Somaly. Thank you for being here, and thank you for always give your opinion and also to bring awareness. That's why we're doing our show, to bring awareness to the world on what's going on in Cambodia, like I always say. So as always, I appreciate your input. I always appreciate what you have to say, Somaly, and also what you have to say, also Kathy. And thank you so much for being here.
Likewise.
Thank you. And we are at the end of our show, and thank you to our audience for watching our show, for commenting on our shows. We are here every Tuesday. I am here every Tuesday. We will bring different topic and also different current events. And again, this is Khmer Youth Voices for Justice. This is part of the CNRP America show. My name is Linda. I am hosting from Los Angeles, California, and I do really appreciate our audience. I appreciate all your comment. Sometime I might not able to put them up or read them, but at the same time, I will review them. And as always, thank you for joining our show, and thank you for being here. I hope you have a good evening, or I hope you have a good day. Thank you so much, and see you next Tuesday.